on the bricks and everything, or I start with, we call this palo, and just means stick in Spanish, you know. But this is like, started this like 10 years ago, and so it's about joints still, you know, my thing's still joints and leverage and everything like that. So like this here, I'll put a hand here, put a hand here, and then all I'm gonna do is raise this arm up as far as it goes, just as far as it goes. Then we take this hand, and I'm gonna push it through whatever I want it to do. And then I just do the other side, raise it up as high as I want to, and then I'll just manipulate it with the other one. And the thing about it is,
What are you trying to get here?
you're just trying to work through some ranges and stretch yourself out as far as possible. You lift this one as high as possible. Yeah. And take this hand now, start manipulating. You just roll around whichever way you want. That's kind of how I usually start off my day. It's just basically trying to put stuff back wherever it was. Cool.
That's my thing. I can lengthen out well.
Yeah.
It's good for basketball.
Yeah.
I also have long arms.
So yeah, it's over. This way here, and then I'll see now this hand is pulling me in that direction. This hand's gonna pull me in that direction, and they both will pull me forward. If I squat down into it, then I start compressing at the same time. Yeah, and all you're trying to do is take this hand and push it this way. There you go. And even like we do some single leg stand stuff where, you know, as I twist this here, this leg is gonna twist with me. And we just, like I said, there's no set direction to go. You just flow with it. And this way you gotta use your upper body to counter what's going on with the lower body. Patterns, like I said, you'll find your own patterns. And that's the beauty of it, you know. Like I said, a lot of stuff I do, you have to find your own patterns. Because that's your body. And your body's gonna tell you like, oh, got a little kink here. let's work through this kink right here versus me saying, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. Find your own. Yeah. So that's usually what I start with, just stuff like that there. And then from there, then I start with on the bricks. So like a lot of times people want to step up. And like I showed yesterday, that's a lengthening proposition. And so when I get here, I actually want to go down to step up. Yeah, so I'm go down to step up. That becomes the thing. So I'm always going to a loading pattern. So I just go down, step up, you know. And that's why I keep telling people about hip flexor strength. If you go down, the other one comes up. No need to, no need to do anything special, you know. And so then if you want to go fast, you just go down faster, you know. You just go down faster, and then things start to, you know. And it's not like I said. So at the same time, what people forget is the information that feed back to you. And that's what you're dealing with. Oh, based on how much I get. Oh, okay. You know, you can start, boom, you can start dealing with it. And that's why also, most of the time you hear me say, you know, if you want to put more force into something, you can't really put it into you. So right now, as you go down, you learn to put more into you, which gets you into the situation versus put more into the ground. So, section off. So like I want to work on my big toe. So, if you work on your big toe, then you have to put down something. This might be a better one for you since it's a little bit lower. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put ball of foot, big toe, 4 toes hanging off. And then it's gonna same thing. Just go down on it. Don't try and stand up on it. Just go down on it. Big toe, take that all day long. And big toe's a break, which is why, you know, once you're on it, see, it's gonna stop you. It's gonna stop you. It's a break. You can stand on it all day long. But then people want to try to press off the ground. That's when things go wrong. If I get here and I try to press up, that's when my knees are gonna extend. Also, my kids will say, "Hey, dude, what are you doing here?" That's not the big toes for. Yeah. So see, you can just, and that's so. Then we start working on this back there. So then, that way, like I said, if you're going to jump or dunk, then guess what? Go down on the big toe to stop you, so you make that next step and go. That becomes the thing. So all of a sudden, boom, let the big toe stop you. Go about your business. You know, don't try and push off the big. It's not designed for that. So we work on stuff like that, and then we say, okay, I'm going to go to the 4 toes now. So same thing. Now this time we put the transverse arch and 4 toes on, and then I'm just going to roll over. So same thing's happening. Go down, keep going. That's what people usually have problems with because they're not used to going over those 4 toes.
I get when I push my left Achilles, you know, but like when I go off this, like it's like I don't think I don't get the roll. You know? It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's that, and that's what.
And it's not that I'm consciously trying to push through the big toe or something.
Right.
It's just like it's just so toy. It's so toy for me then.
And so, but the other part too is that that's one of those things that you got. You know, it's like, oh, because people don't trust the system, and so they fight it, and so they get on their toes. They try to just go over, and then you put them all together.
Oh, that's my left is actually bad.
But like I said, that's the beauty of the bricks. You start finding some things like, oh, you start identifying, okay, this leg is okay, this one's not so okay. So that becomes, then you put them together. You put the big toe and the 4 toes together. Same thing, the big toe stops you, it's a smoother roll now. Instead of just stopping or rolling, it's a smoother transition between the two now. So once you, so go ahead and put your toes up here, just be on the toes. So between the transverse arch and the toes already. Now just roll over. See? Don't push off, just roll over. See?
Yeah.
And that's what people miss. That simple roll. We letting our body weight. That's why we say fall. That's all I'm doing.
And
I'm not pushing, I'm just falling towards the ground.
Yeah, you push, you stand up.
You stand up. Yeah.
You push.
And boom.
Push this, yeah.
And you actually stop because the toes don't want to propel you. That's the funny part about it. You actually, because why? They brakes. They're not propulsion, they brakes. But people go, yeah, y'all keep pushing off the toes. Go right ahead, no big deal. So like I said, so we work through this, but now all of a sudden when we go outside, you'll be able to roll because you've been actually working on rolling and falling.
Yeah.
Sometimes people actually do need to learn this stuff, but it's that simple. It's not complicated, so just do it. But nobody's telling them how to do it. Everybody's telling them to push. No, quit pushing off the toes. So then we move on from, like I said, from big toe, 4 toes, big toe and 4 toes. So then we move back to the 4th and 5th metatarsal. So same thing. Now this way we learn the brick is really trying to roll your foot this way. So what are you going to do? You're going to roll back against it. So yeah, you got a small, and so you got a very small 4th and 5th. So your 4th and 5th is here. Versus, see, mine is this long. And yours is there. So this part of your foot, from here to here, put on the brick now. There you go. So yeah. But that's so you have a short one, I got a long one.
So what would that mean?
I don't know. Just so you here, like I said, you put the weight on it, and as it tries to push this way, you push back into it and let you go over it again. Yeah, and that's all. So yeah. Hey, y'all cut it out. Look. So that becomes a thing, and so I'm just going through the different parts of my feet, you know, understanding what each part does instead of saying it's the whole foot, you know. And then after that, we go through some heel stuff, and you have to find out which part of your heel is the least sensitive. One part is more sensitive than the other. The sensitive part, stay away from. So for me, like it may be like right here, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. As it pushes down, I'm gonna push back down into it. So as the brick pushes up, I'm gonna push my heel down into it. Yeah. And as you notice, all these create rolling factors. They don't create a push factor. They all create rolling issues.
I don't know what's more sensitive.
Yeah, and like I said, and so if you can go there and it's not still, just keep pushing down. If it's not sensitive, keep pushing down on it. See? And this way, like I said, you start working just the foot itself. And like I said, it's not, and so what's different is this is not a strength issue, it's a sensitivity issue. You just working the sensory part of the foot. Let the rest deal with what it's gonna be, you know. Now if we want to get into some strength stuff, this is what we start doing. So that's just the passive roll over stuff. So now let's get into what we would call some strength stuff. Where now, as the brick pushes up on my foot, I'm going to pull up on the foot too. So I'm going to pitch it up or dorsiflex the foot. So now when I'm here, I'm actually going to pull the foot up into me as I squat down. So now you're trying to flex that foot up. Pull that foot, yeah, you go. Pull that foot into your shin.
So will you get the heel, will the heel drop?
Nope, heel's not going to drop. There you go. So yeah, that's what so yeah, that becomes the issue. And so we're just trying to pull that foot up as we try to squat down, which once again, what you create a good ISO. One's coming up, one's trying to go down, boom. Who's going to win the battle? So then, same thing. You can do the same thing with the toes. So I'm on the big toe, it's pressing, so I'm going to pull the big toe up. I'm going to really try to pull the big toe up. As I pull the big toe up, I'm just going to try and standing on it. And then you see what you can do if you want it. So then, you see what just happened? See now all of a sudden, guess what you can do? You can work your hip. It's the hip that's going to move you forward. It's not the foot. The foot gives you a foundation to stand on, so the hip can move you forward. So all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where it comes in at. So it's not, I need this so-called foot strength to do this thing. I need this foot strength to anchor me. The stronger it anchors me, now my glute can pow!
Yeah.
Push me off of it. And that's why I say don't push the ground. You're gonna push you. Stop pushing the ground. Anchor to the ground and allow you to push you forward. Big difference. You know? And so that becomes the thing. So the stronger I get at these things, yes. Now all of a sudden, guess what I can use? My glutes.
Yeah.
Because there's something there that's holding them down, so I can work this portion of a lever. And that's why people understand levers. I got too many levers involved, so I'm gonna take two of them out. Now I only got one lever involved.
Yeah.
See? Now we
Yeah,
got
I
the
think,
thing.
yeah.
And
Yeah, the ISO, so nothing is really moving
That's
down
just-
low.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you can-
moving down. Yeah, that's moving down low.
Yeah.
But something can move on top. Yeah, and that becomes the whole process. You know, and then like I said, now we want the energy from it. It's where the energy comes from. So now you got that right. These two in the battle. So I got this coming up, this coming down. I got a battle. Release one, and that's where the energy comes from.
Release the
ISO. So at the foot, release one of them. Don't matter which one you release. See? That's where the extra energy comes from because you release that ISO. And if you release at the time,
the timing's a little.
yeah. If you release it, so if you're here and on the hip go, you release it. See, it just. But that's much easier to do than when people think of hopping. See, there you go. Versus people think, there's no energy in there. Pick it up here. No, put an ice, put an ISO, release it. Put an ISO, release it. Now you gotta be fast.
Yeah,
How fast
that's
can I
yeah.
different. And that's why, like I say, you don't see me arguing people about what fast is, because a lot of people don't really understand. How fast can I control this energy transfer? If I can do that, I'm fast. This is energy transfer. So you get good at being slow at transferring energy. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. So that's what we started. So this way on the bricks, just so you can start to feel and learn these things on the ground, because the ground really is not pushing back up through you. You can squat down, it's all neutral. But the bricks, they actually push up. You work against them, you got to ice them, go for it. So that's that. So that those was part of the foot and stuff. So then we get on the slant board and everything, and then we start same thing. The slant board's already going to push up into me, so I'm going to work with that. So the slant board's pushing up into me. Most people get to the slant board and they work against it. They try to push down to the slant board, which once again stands you up. So I'm going to take what I just learned and say, okay, slant board's pushing up into me. Let me pull in the same direction. And so now, same thing. Boom, hip, boom. So I can start working on the same components. based on, I'm gonna work with it. Look! Look! There you go, see? Yeah.
And then if you push.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
That's all. I mean, that's easy on this to
Yeah.
just stay low
Yeah.
or stay squatted like that.
Stay squatted, yeah.
Really
Stay
easy on
squatted,
this.
yeah. So, and that's why we have like the pads on there, because now, if you put your foot just a little bit lower, you can feel what it's like without the pad. You can feel like, okay. Look!
Not as good.
Yeah, because the sensory information has changed, and that's the whole thing. So that's why people are like, why would you use those? Because I get so much, and if I get the same information, I can control this now. But if I step on that, get information, step on this, get information, step on every time you change surfaces, it's gonna become a different movement. I don't want a different movement. I want the same movement. If I'm this athlete, I want the same. I want to be predictable now. I'll just like give it this. Okay, cool. So then we turn around and we go downhill on it. Same thing's gonna happen. Now the beauty of going downhill is this here. The ground is trying to roll you that way. So once again, we go with it. So now, because what's happening? This is going away from me. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go away with it. I'm still not gonna fight it. I'm just gonna go with it. So this is going this way, I'm gonna take my foot and go with it. So like I said, most of the time people get here and they put the brakes on. So they're gonna go against it. So instead of going with it, no, if you're here, just go, see, as long as I go with it, I can control it and stay with it. See? That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just understand and stop fighting things. If it wants you to go that way, go with it. Wow. So then, what do you learn in the next step? So I got two options now. Since I'm going overspeed in a sense, guess what? Go overspeed. So all of a sudden here, overspeed. So I'm gonna go with both of those. So I'm gonna keep that going versus once I level out. So instead of going this way, boom, to this way, so you have to understand. Since I'm going this way, overspeed, you keep going that way, don't change anything. See? And just learning to really just cooperate with the system versus fight.
Yeah.
You know? So then that's kind of how I warm up. Sometimes I put some kettlebells on it. Sometimes, you know, I get into the bags and stuff like that. And then I go out front and run and jump. So let's switch up and go out front. And I'm going to show you how it translates. That's all I say. On this first one, I'm just going to work on just rolling over my toes. So that's all it becomes. I'm just going to work on just rolling over the toes. And that's all I do. So then, I'm going to put you on the next one. Say I'm going to work on stopping with the big toe. You know. That's low. Yeah. So yeah, so that becomes this one here. Like I said, I rolled over the toes. Okay, cool. This one here, I'm gonna stop with the big toe. See what I'm saying? You just kind of
on your left, you're trying to
stop with the big toe. So you just pick out what you want to do based on what's going on. You see what I'm saying? You just pick something that you've been working on. That's why I try to tell people, if I can't implement it anymore, I don't do it. If I can't. If I'm back there, I'm doing stuff, and I gotta come here, I gotta be able to implement. If I can't, I ain't mess with it. So on this one here, I said, let me go with both big toes. So I'm gonna start with both big toes. You can tell like how the jump changes based on what's going on.
when you stop with big toes, what are you trying to feel?
Just that break. This one stop.
Okay.
This one stop. Now I'm gone. You want to feel them stop. You see what I'm saying? It changes.
Yeah.
The jumps changes based on what you're doing. So you may have somebody, like I said, and I go back to the first one where I said I was going to roll over. So the first one, I'm just rolling over. For sure, on my jump. Because that's what I'm saying. You can't propel off them things. You're not for that. But if I stop, I can make something happen. So that's why, and some people may not be jumping high because they be rolling over too much. So then I switch out to maybe a one-legged thing. Now I say, okay, I'm gonna go to one-legged stuff and the same thing. Huh. I'm gonna put my, since I'm going that way, I'm gonna put the foot down, just like I was coming off the slant board, and then put the big toe down to put the stops on. So on that one there, see the difference though? That's it's one of those things. So then I go, okay, huh, I missed. Need to put more pop into it.
Got a slippery ball.
So that becomes the thing. So that's like a one-legged jump. One-legged jump is a bit different. So now, I'm gonna cheat. I'm putting rotations on it. so that time I was just one-dimensional. I'm just putting the foot down, putting this down. Now I'm gonna rotate on it.
You rotate how?
Rotate, thigh in, shin out.
Oh.
So when the foot hits,
Yeah.
rotate. I'm just, yeah.
See, you're fast at all that. It's hard for me to process
Yeah.
when you don't do it.
There you go. Yeah. So, like I said, so that becomes the thing. Do it. Come out here. See what works for what. And then I have movement strategies coming on. You know, then I'll think, oh, okay then. So even like that there. I've been working this leg, but I've been working this leg. So now, whatever you do to one leg, do to the other. Even though it's in the air. So, I put this one down, big toe, put this one down, big toe in the air. So whatever you do to one, do with the other. Ah. See?
Oh, yeah. Which is weird, though, because it feels like, what is it going to do in the air?
But it's just more coordination of the body. It's like, hey, this is going on.
Yeah.
So then for me, like now, I'm out of juice. Ain't got no more juice. So then I'll rest or I do some other stuff. Or I may do a quick run or something like that. I'm done for the day. Out of juice, just like that. But that becomes the thing is, you know, like I said, it's just a matter of people, because even here, yeah, people too hard for me now. See what that? So now, I can't move fast now. I'm moving slow. I'm out of juice. My battery's still working, but my capacitors, I do. We didn't have enough for today. Enough for today for right now.
That's big toe. That's weird.
Look at that. Yeah. So, see how much you're coming down with now?
Yeah.
That's what people understand. When you come down and buckle, that means you have a lot of force leaving the ground. If you come down light, you don't leave the ground with much. When you come down, like, oh, okay, because it's still in you.
Yeah.
The brain just said, oh, we done together, now we're done with this. But that's what people don't understand too. So even when running, when I do with one leg, we do with the other leg. Because it's like, okay, so now I do need to do whatever this one does, that one does. Even though it's in the air, I still do it. Easy to think. However it does it, you do it exactly the same? No. But the effect can be pretty dramatic.